Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Ask Me Anything session. We're going to be talking today about your questions related to the quantum human design professional level training. So we have a lot of just unpacking that we want to do with you, just an exploration of what do we offer, what do you need, what's on sale, what do you get out of it, what are the benefits to you taking these trainings? And of course, creating a space for you to get any questions that you might have answered so that you can make a really good, strong, informed decision about choosing to add to your practice or grow your practice or become a quantum human design practitioner or a quantum alignment system practitioner. Did you want to say something, Hannah, before we get started?
Yeah, I just want to say welcome, everyone. A couple of things about how this call will be run. You might notice here that in order to ask any questions that come up, we do have a short little slide series to roll through with you all. And if there's any questions that arise while Karen is going through all of that, we ask that you drop them in the Q&A box. That will be the only form of communication on this call. If you go down to the bottom of your screen on Zoom, you click on Q&A and you can drop your question there. And we will be answering questions strictly related to certification training. That means QHD, QAS, our life cycle analysis course, any of those offerings here, we will be discussing those on this call. So that will be how you can communicate here. And we will just get started by jumping into our little slides here.
Yeah, I'm excited. We have a lot to unpack. So yeah, just put your questions down below in the little bubbles that say Q&A, and we'll make sure that you get your questions answered. So I wanted to start today. By the way, if you guys did not know, Hannah Sawicky is the director of the Quantum Human Design Training Program. When you register as a student, or if you've been a student with us, you know that you see Hannah everywhere. That Hannah's the one that writes all the emails and makes sure you know where you're going, that grade your tests. So be nice to Hannah because she's the one in charge of everything. So it's exciting to have Hannah here today. I'm really grateful for that. So thank you for being here, Hannah. So I'm going to start first to just do a quick overview of all the different programs that we have. I want to start first with just a little bit of history. It's an old history because I've been doing this for I've been doing this since 1999. I don't know the math anymore. So when I first started teaching human design, I would teach people the entire system in a week. Like it was a week-long intensive, which is kind of funny because what would happen is usually around day 2, all the projectors started falling down, exhausted, sick, stomach aches, headaches. And by the end of the week, I'd only have a handful of students left. And a lot of people would have to come back and do the training several times because it was just really intense. I don't know why I thought that was a good way to teach people, but it took me a lot of years to figure out, I should probably break this down into smaller digestible portions. I also think it's a good idea to break things down into smaller portions for another reason. One of the things that I did when I broke this 1 week long intensive training down into little bits is I started to think about, you don't have to know the whole system to start helping people. You can actually start using quantum human design as a quantum human design specialist. As soon as you understand deeply type and strategy, just that piece of information alone gives you a powerful ability to really see people, to help people, to explore big, important topics like authority or strategy or emotional themes. Sometimes that's all people need to get started in that deconditioning process. And so I didn't want to set it up so that the training was almost inaccessible in terms of being able to implement it right away. Another reason why I have it set up this way, honestly, is because for most of my parenting journey, I was a full-time single parent. I raised 5 kids by myself for many years, for 11 years. I put those kids through college by myself. I paid all the bills by myself. And money was always challenging for me. I'm not going to lie. It was not something that came easily for me. And so when I thought about, what would I need if I was taking this training? I really thought, I need it broken down into pieces so that I can start using it right away professionally in exchange for money so that I can make money to continue to facilitate my own training. So I can take what I earn and invest it into higher level trainings and not feel like I have to keep waiting and waiting financially. So I wanted to make it accessible because not just because I want you to have the opportunity to learn, but also because the world needs you. The world is ready. The world is hungry for human design right now. 3 years ago, pre-COVID, if I said human design, most of the people in the room, if not all the people in the room, would not have had a clue what human design is. Now, when I say human design, I say human design anywhere. And people are like, oh, human design. Literally, I go to the grocery store now and I hear people talking about human design in the grocery store. Fun fact. So it's gained in the popularity and it's gained in traction. And I think there's such a great opportunity here for those of you who are either already coaches or you're thinking about coaching or you're thinking about adding human design or creating human design as a standalone practice for yourself. This is probably the best time ever to enter into human design or quantum human design as the beginning of your professional practice. I will introduce myself. I feel kind of like if you don't know who I am, have not been doing my job very well. So, but I will break it down for you. I am a multiple best-selling author. I'm also the co-founder of Grace Point Publishing. I've been an EFT, the Emotional Freedom Techniques practitioner, since 2000. So I'm one of the first people to do the weird tapping thing. Now we integrate it into certain aspects of our quantum human design training. I was one of the very first life coaches trained in the world. I studied with Thomas Leonard before he passed, who, by the way, was a 1-3 projector with only one channel, the 4323. I am an original student of Ra Uru Hu. I actually studied and worked for Ra for several years. I've been teaching human design, as I said, since 1999. I'm also a Quantum University PhD student, but not for long because I'm going to be defending my thesis on August 21st. And I'm also a guest lecturer at Quantum University. I'm a TEDx presenter, and I'm particularly proud of my podcast, Quantum Revolution. These are just some of the places where you can find me. And below, Kristen posted for us. Kristen is the person that makes everything work from behind the scenes. A nice picture of my books that I've written. Most of my books that I've written are human design books, as you can imagine. So let's break down the quantum human design training. You have level 1. And in level 1, we do an introduction to quantum human design, and we focus in great depth on type, strategy, and authority. We also talk a lot about emotional themes, because one of the things that makes me a little bit different than traditional human design teachers is I have a different interpretation of what the purpose of the emotional themes is and how to use those emotional themes that the different types experience as a signal or a sign that's letting you know where you are in your deconditioning process. In level 2, we have 4 levels, by the way. In level 2, we talk about the 12 profiles. We unpack in great depth the 6 lines of the profiles. We look at the 9 energy centers. And this in the self-paced, well, this is what you learn in the self-paced training. You learn all about the profiles and the 9 energy centers. In level 3, we go deep into the circuits, the gates, and the channels. This is a much more intense course of study. I mean, I very often will have manifesting generators who are like, well, how long will it take me to do level 3? You're not going to get it done in a week. Even though I used to teach it in a week. I don't know how I did that to people. That was kind of mean. In level 4 is really what I call where you learn the art of chart reading. So you now know from level 1, level 2, and level 3, all the working parts of the chart. In level 4, we really break it down. And this is where we get very, very practical. So we talk about how do you answer your clients' questions about why they're struggling with money or what's going on with your clients in relationships? How do you help them find what I like to call the core conundrum or the sacred flaw in their chart, that maturing point that they have to contend with, particularly when they go through major life cycle changes? We talk about how do you read a near-death experience chart? We talk about finding life purpose in the chart. We go deep into exploring how to answer your clients' questions so that you're not just doing a straight up mechanical reading, but you're actually giving your client the ability to look at their chart as the true map that it was created to be, a way of looking at the chart as a tool to help them explore how they can create the life they're longing for, to really help them fulfill their desires. Now, these programs, level 1, level 2, and level 3, are all self-study, meaning you can study these 3 levels on your own. And I want to just let you know that I know that for many of us, learning online is not natural, or sometimes you have questions. All my first line profiles, you all have questions. And so in addition to being able to take these 3 levels at your own pace, in your own way, at home, in your pajamas if you choose to, we also have once a week at various different time points, because so many of our clients are in Europe, so we do this a couple of different times during the month. You have the opportunity to actually come live on a call with me for a 1-hour live Q&A. And you have the opportunity every week to either ask a question live, or if you can't be live on the call for whatever reason, you can pre-submit a question and we answer your questions on the call. So you're never not supported in this learning process. You always have the opportunity to reach out and connect with either me personally during forum, or with Hannah, or all your other classmates on Circle and in our community as well. We have one of the things that we're well known for is the beauty and the power of our community. We have a very strong human design professional community, and it's really, I think honestly, it's probably my favorite part of what we do here. Wouldn't you agree, Hannah?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's so much love in our community and so much cohesion and support. I watch people who take my trainings become best friends and do things together, have programs together, and teach courses together. It's pretty cool. We bundle these programs. So level 1 and level 2 are bundled together, and level 3 and level 4, once you complete level 1 and level 2, are also bundled together. And of course, we have a quantum human design level 1 through 4 bundle, which is all 4 bundles. All 4 levels. The one thing I want to say about level 4, which is different than level 1, 2, and 3, level 4 is a live class. So you still get a pre-recorded lesson, but while level 4 is running, it always starts in the fall. So if you decide you want to do level 4 this year, you still have time to get through level 1, level 2, and level 3. In level 4, you have a live call dedicated exclusively to level 4. And part of what we do, in addition to getting your questions answered, of course, we also do practice readings. So you get broken out into pods and you get to really get practical experiences using quantum human design. We also have advanced trainings. Once you complete quantum human design level 3, you then also have access to more advanced trainings. So we have a quantum human design life cycle analysis program. That program takes you through the basics of a life cycle analysis chart. So the chart actually, over the course of your life, you go through core astrological maturing cycles, the Saturn return, Uranus opposition, Chiron return, a second Saturn return, as well as the solar return of birthday reading. This is a really juicy thing to add to your practice because it allows you to stay in relationship with your clients. So even if you do a one-off reading, you can also sell a birthday reading to them every year. You'll have the ability to really go deep into their life cycle charts, which becomes a very powerful and important way to coach and support your client, in addition to just doing a traditional reading. So you'll learn in this program the basics of life cycle analysis, how to interpret a life cycle chart, how to use the life cycle chart as a tool to help someone understand what's going on in their life right now. Why did the cosmic rug get pulled out from under me? Oh, it's just your Chiron return, right? We'll talk about solar return, Saturn return readings, Uranus opposition readings, Chiron return readings, near-death experience charts. Again, we'll look at those in much greater depth. And we'll look at key developmental milestones and how they relate to celestial milestones. So this is also on sale for 33% off. It's normally $497, so you can purchase this for $332.99. That's a number. Okay. Oops. We also have, if you love human design and you're really ready to go deep with your clients in the deconditioning process, There's a second integrated approach that we offer in addition to the quantum human design training called the quantum alignment system. So this is an integrated system that blends EFT, the emotional freedom techniques, quantum human design, quantum body therapy. So we use quantum essential oils and quantum flower essences, as well as traditional coaching to help your clients get underneath to the root of why they might be stuck, why they might be struggling. We explore in great depth what's underneath the chart that might be holding them back from really fulfilling their full potential. This program is incredible for accelerating the deconditioning process. It clears the energy of limiting patterns, thoughts, and experiences. It helps you help your clients integrate a new empowering narrative into their life so that they can really consciously build the story of who they want to be and make sure they're manifesting that story on the physical level. And of course, it helps people learn deeply how they can do what they came here to do and be who they came here to be. There is a prerequisite for the quantum alignment system training. You must be quantum human design level 1 certified to take the quantum alignment system level 1 training. It's a pretty intensive course of study. Not only do you come to a live, I think it's 3-day training, you'll also be partnered you'll be partnered with a partner, and you will spend several months with a partner tapping on preset protocols that you'll learn in quantum alignment systems. So there's a lot of practical learning that goes along with this and a lot of support. We have mentors and people who come in and who help you if you get stuck. And we have all kinds of really great, deep support systems in this training to help you really integrate this information. The quantum alignment system level 2, in level 2, we talk about the root causes of pain. And in particular, we start looking at type and the centers and the lines of the profiles. And you have to be quantum human design level 3 certified to take quantum alignment system level 2 and to take quantum alignment system level 3, which is always taught live. And that is 5 days live with me, if you dare. We usually go to a beautiful place. This last year, we went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and stayed at this amazing resort, Tamayo Resort, so that you have lots of integration and playtime. We actually went horseback riding this year, in addition to learning in the quantum alignment system level 3, where we go deep into the gates, the channels, the circuits, and how to really support your client in rewriting the whole story of their chart. The prerequisite for QAS level 3 is QHD level 3. So you have to take quantum human design level 3 to be able to take quantum alignment system level 3. Plus, of course, you have to be certified in quantum alignment system level 1 and 2 as well.
One thing about that, back on that slide, for QAS, on the slide, it said you have to be level 3 certified to take QAS level 2. Just correcting that, is the prerequisite is QHD level 2 for QAS level 3. So it just correlates for each level of QAS, you have to have that level.
QHD level 2 for QAS level 2. We have the 3 theme going on.
Watch, wait. I'm going to fix this right now. Forgive me.
So hopefully this drills into everyone's memory, since we just took time to say it 3 different ways, 3 different times.
There, now you can see it in addition to hearing it. Ta-da! So it happens when 3 manifesting generators edit the slides, we all miss the details. All right, good. All right, so that's our overview of what we have for sale. And now, Hannah, do you want to lead me through questions that people might have?
We're going to get started with Barbara. She's asking, if my only experience is receiving my chart and reading all of your guides and follow-up emails, is it appropriate for me to jump into certification training, or is it best to gain more insight and understanding first?
Oh, I think you're totally right. I think you should do it. I would recommend starting off with quantum human design level 1 and level 2. That's going to, of course, deepen everything that you've already learned. And it's going to give you the depth of the foundation that you need. So you literally could walk into quantum human design level 1, level 2, completely blind, never having heard of human design before, and you'd be fine. So you're ready, Barbara, go for it. Oh, it's Barbara Day.
Another Barbara. So can you maybe differentiate between the 90-day expedition that we have in UHD versus QHD certification training, and what that experience is like and how those differ?
Absolutely. So I have a separate membership, the Understanding Human Design membership community. It is a membership community that is for people who do not want to do human design professionally, who really just want to learn about their chart. Inside that membership community, we have what we call the Expedition program. It's a 3-month program that takes you through your type, your centers, the lines of your profiles, and then it ends with a really fun, intensive training that we do together where we look at gates and life purpose in the chart. That is a very personal program that's just about helping you learn your chart. It is definitely not anywhere near the depth and the nuance of what you get in the professional level trainings. In the professional level trainings, you're going to basically learn everything about all the parts of the chart, because you're going to be, when you graduate, when you certify, you'll be a qualified professional who will have the job, if you will, of teaching human design to your clients. You're not going to be teaching human design, so don't panic if you're like teaching, not teaching, but you'll be one-on-one with your clients, teaching them about their chart. So you're going to need to know about the depth of information necessary about, say, the manifestor or the projector or the reflector. You'll be able to go deep into what does that mean? How does that show up in your life? What might be going on in their life right now where they're not living aligned with their design, and how do you coach them into getting more in sync with their type? So it's a very, very different program. Literally, it's apples to oranges. It's not even comparable.
Okay, thank you. And then we also had a pre-submitted question asking, how can I use this certification from levels 1 and 2 in my wellness coaching programs to provide and guide a transformation?
That's a great question. So, I actually started off as you know, as a life coach. I started off as a child development specialist, in addition to being a life coach and a parent educator. And very early on in my career, I was coaching people. And what I found in the beginning was, okay, people were stuck. That's why they hired a coach. They hired a coach because people were stuck. Or they hired a coach or a healer, because I also worked as a hands-on healer. I was certified in healing touch. I then went on, as you know, learn on and certified in emotional freedom techniques. You have these skills as a healer or as a coach or as any kind of person in a therapeutic profession. But oftentimes we spend a lot of time in the beginning going deep into the assessment process. What's going on in this person's life? Why are they doing what they're doing? What's their background story? What's their narrative? There's so much exploration, that assessment piece, that can sometimes take months to really get clear about, why is my client stuck, right? When I started adding human design into my coaching practice, it wasn't actually very good for my bank account, if I'm really honest, because what happened was very, very quickly, I started to get deep insights from the chart, like literally within 2 minutes of looking at the chart going, oh, I see what's going on here. I started to be able to really dive in and get to the heart of what was going on with them in the very beginning. And certainly just understanding type. If I didn't know anything else, just knowing, oh, this person is a projector. They're 40 years old. They've been living their life as a generator up until this point, and they are burned out. Boom. That right there gave me an entire coaching protocol to work with. Or if I was doing tapping, or if I was doing energy work, I knew where I was going to start targeting my work. I would be looking at thyroid and adrenals, and I'd start looking at where are we at with the sacral energy and what's going on with self-worth, so that, they're not valuing themselves enough to say, hold up, stop, I need to rest. So there's so much insight you get just from those key pieces that'll help you really. It's not you're going to skip the assessment. You're not going to skip the assessment, but it allows you to get much more laser focused in that assessment process, and allows you to really, work with your client quickly and effectively and faster. unless you need to keep them in your practice longer, you can work with them faster and get better results more quickly.
Okay, thank you. And then along those similar lines, can you just talk about when people can start offering quantum human design readings, what that looks like? And then real quick, someone did ask about, am I only certified once I get through level 4? And the answer is no. Since we have broken it up into 4 levels, you get certified as you complete level 1. You become a level 1 quantum human design specialist, level 2, a level 2 quantum human design specialist, and so forth up through level 4. But Karen, can you just talk about when people taking this training, when they can start offering readings? And then I can jump into some support that we give with that too, once you're done.
Yeah, so you can start doing readings as soon as you certify. So you could finish level 1. I've had people finish level 1 within a week. I mean, you definitely can finish level 1 within a week. So I've had people definitely finish level 1 within a week. And as soon as you certify, you can get out and start talking to clients. But you want to take the rest of this question, Hannah, because you know all about how to get people certified and what that really means. So
yeah, so like Karen is saying, once you certify in level 1, you become a level 1 quantum human design specialist. And we offer at the end of your level 1 training, it's embedded in there for you that we offer some business resources to provide an outline and some structure of what a level 1 reading might look like. And also some other resources for you, like getting set up with social media and how to structure your reading and what all of that looks like, just to spark that process for you to start getting that started. You also, like Karen mentioned, we do have forum as a resource for you to come and ask your training related questions. And then once a month, we also do a Chart Chat live community call with other students and specialists. This is open to all levels. So literally you can purchase training. You could not have even completed any training yet, but you can join, and it's a call where you will be in a breakout room and you get to practice looking at the chart and practice facilitating the space and your skills and connecting with other students in our community and learning and sort of building and finding your voice of, you know, how do you interpret quantum human design? What is the, you know, what does it look like for you to be the reader or the specialist or the coach or the word that, you know, you align with? And we give you the title of quantum human design specialist, but we know a lot of people come into our community with other trainings under their belt and other titles, if you will. And so we also offer that as a resource for you to really build the confidence and practice facilitating a reading. And then if you have anything else to add to that, Karen, otherwise we'll jump into a different question.
yeah, so I think really, again, the thing that I want to just add is you can start doing readings as soon as you complete the certification process, which could be very quickly. And we have a lot of business support that we offer for you, a lot of opportunities for you to be supported by our community and getting the word out about your skills and your practice. I just want to take a second. We're in the middle of redoing our website, which means we've shifted some of the means by which we get feedback from our clients. And I just want to read this, if it's all right with you, Hannah. This is actually feedback that we got from one of our students who said this introductory course, meaning Quantum Human Design Level 1, is so much more in depth than I had anticipated. It's extremely well laid out and really creates a curiosity and a desire to learn even more. And we have resources that we give you that I think, let me just say this, I have taken so many trainings myself and never really learned beyond the skills of the training, how to actually use those trainings with my clients and how to set it up as a business. And if you get a training and you don't get in conjunction with that training, that business foundation, the marketing resources, support from the community from which you've trained, it makes it really hard for you to take that gift that you have that you want to share with the world out into the world. And I think especially those of us who are in service-based businesses, we think we don't like business that much, right? We think, oh, marketing is gross, business is hard. I just want to help people. We make it so that you have a lot of resources available for you so that you can get yourself set up to start your business and help more people. So there's a lot of opportunity and support here for you for that.
Yeah. And then just back along those lines of certification, Susan is asking, what is the certification process? For QHD, the first 3 levels are all pre-recorded lessons that you will move through at your own pace. And there is a quiz associated with each lesson. So you can be, in the process of completing your certification as you are moving through your study and your online learning. For level 4 for QHD, it looks a little bit different. The training is set up for level 4 where you have a pre-recorded lesson every week that is released, and then a live Q&A call with Karen where we are discussing and then practicing that with your fellow students. And again, people hear that it's live. Oh no, can I take it? I'm in a different country. Can I do it? Do I have to fly to the US? No, you can, again, it's online learning. We just say it's live because you have an additional call throughout the week with Karen to digest that level 4 material and then practice integrating your chart reading skills and all of that. So for level 4, your certification is to complete all those lessons and then submit a 10-minute recording of you reading a chart, sort of integrating all of the material that you've learned in all 4 levels of your training, and submitting that, and then you're a level 4 graduate, and it's super exciting. And we still have many things like QAS and advanced trainings that you can dive into. But as far as QHD, that is the flow of your certification. And then in case you're wondering hours, because that's a question we get a lot too. Level 1 is about 7 hours of pre-recorded content. That's why Karen's like, you can complete it in a week. Level 2 is about 8 hours of pre-recorded content. Level 3 is where it definitely gets more information rich, details, circuitry, gates, channels, all of that juicy good stuff. And that's about 45 hours of pre-recorded content. And we always encourage students to, of course, follow your timing, follow your personal alignment, your energy levels, your bandwidth. But in case you're wondering about, time and commitment, those are a little bit more details in terms of that for you.
Absolutely. And there is no time limit. I mean, the one thing that I would just say is we're always evolving our message and our content. Sometimes people come to us from other human design trainings, and when you do, we always say you have to start at the beginning, because the way we teach and what we teach, even the vocabulary we use, is very different. Quantum human design is rooted in science, in therapeutic science. So we really train you to use the tool based on grounded scientific principles as a system of helping your clients really literally and figuratively rewrite their personal narrative. The language, as we said, the language we use has been upgraded. It's deliberately different than traditional human design. We integrate traditional design into it, so you don't, you don't have to give up your traditional human design knowledge. You certainly will learn traditional human design along with quantum human design, but it is, definitely a tool that is solidly geared towards using human design, not just as a way of reading a chart, but as a way of actually coaching people. So I noticed one of the questions disappeared. I will answer Marie's question really quickly. Next year, Quantum Alignment System Level 3 will again be in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So we will be at Tamayo Resort, which is this amazing resort that's owned by the Pueblo indigenous people there. They run the resort. It's a breathtaking place. I don't even know how else to describe it. You look out the window and you see the mountains, and you have lots of space to roam and integrate. And like I said, last year we did some therapeutics riding with horses, and there's lots of really great ways to integrate everything that you're learning, because you'll be doing a lot of personal work there as well as studying and learning. So.
Okay, and then another question, you mentioned it a little bit already, but if I have studied human design at other schools or traditional human design, can you just talk a little bit about what makes quantum human design unique, how it can serve my clients, and do I need to start at level 1?
Yes. So as you may have heard in the beginning, I worked with Ra and studied with Ra in the early 2000s. And one of the things that Ra always talked about was that human design, traditional human design, is really not complete. That the language of traditional human design was specifically designed to target the not self, the conditioned person. Ra always said he would write an awakened version of human design, but he passed in 2011 and never really got a chance to do that. My own personal journey with human design, for many years, for the first 7-8 years of my own deconditioning process, I was very much a traditional human design teacher. And I started to see a trend in my clients, that my clients were coming to me and they were saying, this isn't really fitting. The way we wait, the way that there's this interface with the language, it doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel like it's big enough to really define me. That exploration and that those comments coming consistently from my clients, and these were clients who had done a lot of work. It was people who had done a lot of tapping or had had a long time meditation or yoga practice, people who had really done some deep inner work, were saying it didn't fit. It was okay, it was good, but it wasn't like, it didn't give them a big enough narrative. So that really started to trigger for me this idea that, oh, maybe it's time to evolve human design. And even though Ra is gone, maybe I need to keep this body of work moving forward, because the way it's translating at this point in the evolution on the planet, it's not working. It's not big enough for a lot of people who are ready for something more. So I actually went kind of radio silent in a lot of ways, and took all of the language and the vocabulary words of traditional human design, and started to basically literally take every piece of vocabulary in traditional human design and run it through a thesaurus. And then I took it into a lab. And in the lab, words have frequencies of energy. If you say a word, you can actually measure the frequency of language. So I went into the lab and we started measuring the frequency of all this language to see which words are going to be higher frequency words, which words are going to hold higher qualities of energy. And over time, what emerged was quantum human design, which you may or may not have seen. Hold on. Gosh, I have so many books on my desk, and I'm not a first line profile. So I wrote a book. This book came out last year, the Encyclopedia of Quantum Human Design, which is basically a catalog of the quantum version of traditional human design. So of course, we start with traditional human design. One does not replace the other. They're both really important. Traditional human design is about waking people up and helping them explore, why are they the way that they are? Why did they get to the place that they're at? What do they need to learn about themselves? And really, ultimately, what do they need to do to stop, push that pause button and heal those old narratives, that cultural conditioning, those belief systems, that family conditioning? And then what do they need to do next? How do they need to, and this is where the quantum human design piece comes in, how do they need to better define then, now that they know who they're not, who they actually are? And so in my trainings, we integrate both traditional human design and quantum human design. And I show you the mechanics of creativity through the lens of the chart, and how to really coach your clients into using their unique blueprint in such a way that they can consciously begin to create an aligned life, a life that's rooted in well-being and goes beyond just following type and strategy, allows them to actually become an active participant in creating their world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just highlighting that piece, if you're afraid that, oh no, am I going to also hear about the traditional? You will. The name is referenced in your training, and then you also will be learning the quantum. So you can have that core reference point for all the gates, the centers, the energy types, the profiles, all of that. So it is embedded in the quantum human design training, just to clarify.
Yeah, so it won't be like, oh, I don't know traditional human design. You'll know both. By the time you're done, you'll know both.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, I'm going through, let's see. Okay, and then anything else you want to say, Karen, about just the benefit of completing all 4 levels of training? I know we've touched on that a little bit, just why you broke it all down and everything, but if there's anything else you have to share there.
Well, yeah, I think it's broken down because it's easier to study that way. I mean, honestly, it can feel really daunting if you're going to master the whole system in one fell swoop. And so I also think it kind of preconditions you to really start looking at your client in a very systematic way. You know, when you come in and you know first type and strategy and authority, and then, oh, lines of the profiles and the centers. Oh, now I'm going to look at circuitry. The way that training is laid out actually sort of trains you when you're looking at a chart to start seeing layer after layer after layer. Because really that's what human design is. It's a story. Your chart is a story. And I'll train you to use that chart really literally as a storytelling tool. And you're going to sit down with your client and look at that story they're telling and start taking it apart layer by layer and saying, oh, is that really true? No, that's not true. Is that really true? Oh, no, that's not really true. Oh, what can we turn? How can we take this part of your story and make it better? How can we activate your superpowers? How can we deepen your connection to your authentic self so that you can access higher states of well-being, a better relationship with money, a better relationship with your partner or your family, more fulfillment in the career or the job arena, more connection to source, greater connection and embodiment in your physical form so that you're literally being who you were born to be at every level. So
I just love that. It makes my heart so happy. So I just had a question that just slipped my head, my brain. Along the lines of, okay, it's going to come back to me. Okay, so if someone, let's say someone isn't resonating with doing readings with their certification, but they feel inspired to incorporate it into another modality or even just to learn in general, can you speak to that experience a little bit and how you're certain, like just the capacity and what you can do with this knowledge?
Totally. So I always tell people, ask me this on podcasts all the time. I do not believe that human design, it is obviously, and it can be a standalone modality, but I really believe it's a complementary modality to anything. So, it's definitely not, you're definitely not going to learn, oh, you have to use human design and just forget everything else you've ever learned before because it's all not true. You will learn how to take this information and you will be encouraged by me to integrate this information with everything and anything that you do. It's only going to add to what you're already doing. And as Hannah just mentioned before, when we get to the part where we start talking about how do you use this as a business and how do you construct this as a business, part of the resources we give you is to look at, well, how do you integrate this with what you're already doing? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you get to actually, amplify and expand upon what you're already doing. And now you have this really great assessment tool that allows you to just go very straight to the heart of what's going on with your client and using those skills you bring to the table to really help them even more. I think it's a really funny question. And I think it's a funny question because, I think at this time on the planet, those of us who I would classify as service-based professionals, I like to call us light workers or heart-based entrepreneurs, right? I would challenge you that there isn't a single one of you on this call that has less than 10 certificates. We all come to the table with this giant toolkit that we are excited about sharing and giving people. And as I said, I don't want you to get rid of those. You don't know what your clients are going to need. You're in this responsive relationship with your client. And some of our clients need tapping. Some of our clients need energy work. Some of our clients need homeopathic remedies. Some of our clients need support with parenting. And all of our clients do better if we have human design on the front end as an assessment tool and as a kind of a guideline to help coach people in better alignment with their authentic self. So.
Yeah, and I just want to add too, I always think about it as I did a yoga certification and became a yoga teacher, but I'm not actively teaching yoga classes, but that knowledge and that background integrates into a lot of other places and areas of life. So if you're afraid that by signing up for this or something that we're going to put you in this box to become this reader or this specialist, trust me, Karen is not about boxes.
No, we don't like boxes. Boxes bad.
But we want to open you up to more of that possibility and support you in your own unique path and way of integrating quantum human design. And we do provide a lot of logistical structures around, can I share this? Is this, where does this fit in? And we do support you in that process as well. And that brings me to our community piece that I'll just speak to real quick. And then Karen, if there's anything you want to add, we have all of our training is through Teachable. That's where you will be checking for your lessons, doing your quizzes, watching all the call replays that we upload. So yes, if you're in a different time zone for forum and for level 4 calls, everything is a replay that's in your Teachable. But we also have our circle community that is our private circle space where if you're not on, it's off social media. So you're not bombarded with a bunch of information, but it's more of a hub for you to, be connecting with other students and specialists, checking out the calendar for our whole community and, sharing your chart, getting support from other people and understanding yourself on a more deeper level, and then uniting with others to do that as well. And so I just always love witnessing that, and again, watching people really just expand into this training and this knowledge and what it brings to their life on a personal, but then also professional. It's just amazing to witness. And so we have that space as well. And there was one other thing, but just as a resource for you. And people always think, well, once I certify, am I kicked out, or can I still come to forum? Yes. Yes. Like, we're here for you. So you can finish your level 1 and 2 in 2 weeks, but like, you have this, as a place, as a hub, as you're in our community, you're going to keep growing and expanding, and you can still be coming to forum with questions even after your level 4. So I wanted to make that clear as well. So, and then anything you have to say about that piece too.
Yeah, we don't kick you out. You get to stay forever and hang out. You could get a chart, and if you get a chart like a year after your training, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what is this chart. This is a hard chart. You can bring your chart to forum and we'll help you with your charts. So I'd like to answer Elizabeth's question. So I am actually right now involved in a pretty big corporate consulting project. I don't want to drop the names of the companies that I'm working on right now, but they are big companies that are heavy in the hospitality industry. These are hotel management companies. So we are going in and doing leadership consulting and team building. Basically, what we're really doing is going in and looking at who's designed, on the team, what are the designs, and how do we best respectfully and in the most honoring way work together and do teams. So this is definitely a big growth piece for us that we are expanding into and have been expanding into. I have consulted with small companies, small manufacturing companies, and organized their teams by design and given them deep insights about how to get the most out of their team members, including how to really support people on the floor in the manufacturing department. So there's a lot of room for growth here, and it's certainly something that we're bringing into the corporate world. And, I think, again, I've been doing this for long enough to know that 10 years ago, no one was ready. And now people are ready. I mean, I have been to board meetings at companies where people are pulling out their tarot cards at the boardroom table. Literally, it's amazing. So the world, people are changing their perspectives and what they're open to. And certainly when we look at the theme of not just team building, but also building sustainability into team dynamics so that people don't burn out. And people stay sustainable in the workplace. Those are two big issues that we've been using quantum human design with in a bigger setting. Certainly, Amy, we have a lot of what I'll call corporate escapees. So you would not be the only one who doesn't have a current business. It is totally okay if you're just starting off from scratch and you're pivoting. We have a lot of people who are in that same position, and this is either their place where they're quietly quitting and they're building this business on the side, or we have people who have said, I can't anymore, and they're really building something new for themselves from the ground up. So you want to answer, Camille?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Robin's wondering if there is a time limit. So I believe maybe you're referencing in terms of when you need to complete the training, or in terms of the sale. But in terms of completing, like once you purchase, it's self-paced and you get to choose, we encourage you to follow your own personal timeline, your energy, what works for you, and all of that. It's not like you have to be certified within a year or you lose access to your course. Or anything like that, if that's what your question is. And then in terms of the promotion and the 33% off sale, that will be ending May 26th at midnight Central. That's that question. Okay, and then, okay. And Andrea is asking, what books do you recommend we get in order to expand our knowledge without being overwhelming?
The one book to rule them all. Just get this book. This is the only book you'll need for the whole training. It took us There's a lot of years to get this together and a lot of teamwork, but this is the reference guide we use. This walks you through all the parts, and we'll be referring to this. This is a nice guide to have, particularly when you get to level 3 and you're looking at circuits and gates and channels. And it talks about the difference between traditional and quantum human design. It references both, so it's not like completely new and foreign. And that's the book you'll be working from, for sure.
Okay. And then I wanted to also see if you could just speak a little bit more too about the differences in between quantum human design and then the quantum alignment system. That training, and they are integrated and everything, but just speaking more about the quantum alignment system and how the depth and the level of study and that.
Totally. So quantum human design really teaches you how to analyze a chart. You will be able to, by the end of level 4, listen to your client's questions, go back to the chart and know how to answer within the context of your client's chart, what's going on in that client's life. So it's kind of the what, right? The quantum human design is the what. And of course, you're going to still be able to give them some insights and some guidance. Quantum alignment system, which integrates quantum human design, so the chart reading with EFT, the energy psychology, the tapping, and flower essences. So we have this subtle body modality that we add to this, plus coaching, really gives you this integrated process, this very systematic, integrative process to help your clients. If they are stuck, if there's something going on in the chart, you can look at the chart as a quantum human design specialist and say, oh, you have this in your chart. When you know quantum alignment system, then you're able to say, you have this in your chart. Let's talk about how that maybe has shown up in your life at different phases and stages in your development. Let's talk about the history of the story of this thing in your chart throughout your lived experience. And let's start clearing any emotional memories you might have about this, any artifacts from the story, any what I call protective identities you may have built up to keep yourself safe, to keep yourself from being hurt again. Let's start clearing these out of the way so that you can stand in front of the world with your heart wide open, ready to live the truth of who you are. So it is, they're very different programs in terms of the training. The quantum human design has a lot of potential self-study aspects to it. You can kind of vary it. Quantum alignment system doesn't have that same flexibility. You will be required to come to the live training. You will be partnered with a buddy. You will be going through the whole process yourself of clearing your whole chart. If you go all the way through quantum alignment level 3, you'll be clearing your own chart yourself with your buddies. So it's very practical. It's a therapeutic training. It's a professional level. I mean, they're all professional level trainings, but definitely we've had people in this program who are therapists, people who are in this program who are energy psychologists, people who have a background. You don't have to have this, but people who oftentimes already have either a practice or they're really wanting to build up their practice and open up a more therapeutically based practice with human design or quantum human design.
Yeah, so if you are here and that is buzzing things for you, or you are like, yes, that sounds amazing, just so you know how you would get started for that is you would sign up for the 1 and 2 bundle for quantum human design, because the prerequisite is to complete and certify in QHD level 1 to join into QAS level 1. And then for any other quantum alignment system related questions, please reach out to Jamila, our lovely director of the quantum alignment system. I'm gonna spell out her email, J-A-M, oh my gosh, can I spell Jamila at quantumalignmentsystem.com. So please bring your interests and your inquiry to her if you would like to learn more about that amazing training and program and all of the love and support that you have over there as well.
You know, it is a very amazing training to have the privilege to lead. And it's a very amazing privilege to watch people go through that training, because I promise you will learn how to completely transform people's lives and you will emerge completely transformed. We've even had people go through the QAS training who got pregnant after trying for years and years and years because they cleared some core stuff and suddenly they were able. We have a baby, we call it our quantum alignment system baby. We have our quantum alignment system baby that we follow because she was conceived after her mama went through all of this alignment from the quantum alignment system. So it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and that's one thing too that you'll hear and see a lot in this community is people going through the training and having their personal experience and sharing all of that with each other is just very beautiful to watch and witness. Okay, I will answer her question in the chat in terms of costs.
Okay.
If you are here live, we have some more time. If there's any other training related questions that you have, you can pop them in the chat.
So I think the piece that I really just really just want to stress is that the way we teach is deeply integrated. It's not just data. You have the opportunity to really come into different spaces of your own choosing. Like you could literally take quantum human design level 1, level 2, and level 3 and never come to forum. I have students who do that. They're fine. Thank you very much. They want to do their own thing and they don't show up to forum. They don't show up. We don't see them until level 4. I was surprised when I go to level 4. I'm like, oh, there's some people here I haven't seen. But you know, the goal, the program itself is deliberately designed to be to help you integrate on multiple learning levels. So you will get practical application. You will get the opportunity to get your questions answered. We do have study questions. So you can, as you go through and complete the quizzes for each of the section, you have study questions that you can look at ahead of time so that you kind of know how to program your thinking and which information is really important to pay attention to. You know, it is audio. There is you know, opportunities for you to integrate the information in lots of different ways with lots of different processes. So, you know, it's important to me that you feel confident in your ability to really help people and that you feel like when you come through the program that you have the depth of information that you need to really be able to serve people at your highest level. You know, I never started off wanting to train people to do quantum human design. I just really quickly discovered in my own practice that if I was going to help people really understand their gifts, their strengths, their talents, the insights that human design and quantum human design can bring people, I can't do it by myself. So training people to do it and to do it well, to do it really well was a non-negotiable thing as part of my own personal purpose and mission. So I'm excited to welcome you into this training. I'm excited to continue to build, I call it the army, we call it the army of love, to build our army of love so that we can go back out into the world and help people remember who they are and what they came here to do. So.
Yeah. And then just on Shauna's question about learning 1 through 4 entirely from home, again, yes, that is the answer. You can do it all from home. It's all online. And then one note too, if you're like, oh, I want to sign up for 1 through 4 right now and take advantage of the sale and just kind of just dive into all of it. But I'm not sure if by October I'll be ready to do the level 4 training, the live, and take that 4 to 5 month journey with us. You can take your time moving through the first 3 levels, and we will see that you have purchased level 4 and you can enroll in next year's level 4. Level 4 always begins in October, and we will be starting this year's level 4 on October 12th. And so you will just need to be QHD level 3 certified by September 30th to guarantee yourself a spot for our level 4 training that starts October 12th of this year. So just if you are thinking timeline wise and also hesitant, well, what if I don't want to rush? And don't rush, you can join next year for level 4 if that would work better for your time. Same thing if you're like, I have 1 and 2, but I don't know if I should get 3 and 4 right now. Just know that that is available for you to, again, follow your training pace. And then we're not going to cut you off and say, sorry, you didn't do it this year.
Yeah.
You certainly enroll in the following year.
Well, and also I think it's good to note too that if you're waiting for level 4, but you've already completed and certified in level 3, you can still get started doing readings. So it's not like you'll be sitting there twiddling your thumbs hoping level 4 rolls around soon. So can I answer Camille's question in the chat?
Yes, please.
So Camille asks, would it be effective to take QHD level 1 and then QAS level 1 before taking QHD level 2? It's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's really more up to you in terms of how ready are you to go into the depth of QAS level 1? Do you want to do it first, or do you want to do QHD level 2 first? It's really more just your personal preference in terms of, and it may also be a personal preference in terms of what's available, what's being offered. Because as I said, QAS, the quantum alignment system courses are all taught live online. So you won't have that same option of watching it and doing it at your own pace. You have to show up and be part of the program and get a buddy and work with a buddy. And every once in a while, if you get stuck, you might be working with a mentor and a buddy. It's a very interactive, intensive program. So some of it just may be an issue related to timing, Camille.
Awesome. Okay.
I think that's it. Did we do it all?
I think so. Any other final notes, visions, projections, mission that you want to end on, Karen? I don't see any.
Always.
I feel like there's always some wrap up, a beautiful, just like this is.
Well, I'll just do my regular wrap up because I haven't done this in a while, and I've been thinking a lot about this. You know, I always joke. It's not really a joke. It's actually true. I have 5 kids, and now I have 2 grandkids, and in my house, we've always had at least 1 dog, usually 2, several cats. And when the kids were little, puzzles had a very short lifespan. If you pulled out a puzzle to do a puzzle, it was a matter of time. It was a matter of minutes before a piece would get lost. The dog would eat it. The cat would push something under the couch, never to be retrieved again. Or I had this one kid, we all have that one kid, right? This manifesting generator kid who just got frustrated with puzzles, and he would rip off the nubbins and try to jam the piece into the place where it didn't fit. Or it was always a challenge for him to do puzzles. So, I've always thought about, I don't like puzzles, by the way. I always tell the story, like, I hate puzzles. If somebody pulls out a puzzle, I'm like, come on here. I'm not going to do a puzzle. I'm also a manifesting generator. I do not have time to sit and do a puzzle. Puzzles are only as beautiful as the sum of the pieces. If you put a puzzle together and it's got pieces missing or pieces with bits ripped off and jammed into the wrong hole, it affects the entire piece of the puzzle. Humanity is very much like those puzzle pieces. If you are trying to jam yourself into a place where you don't fit, if you've literally torn off parts of yourself to try to belong somewhere where you don't belong, or you've literally gone missing off the board completely, you might think, oh, it's just you, but it's not. Your absence or your misplacement is going to affect the entire face of the puzzle. We're certainly at a time on this planet right now where we need people to be in their right place, fulfilling their right space, doing what they came here to do. And certainly human design is an incredibly powerful tool to help people really connect with who they are, why they're here, and that right place, right space that only they can fill. The world needs you in whatever capacity you're called to serve. Maybe you're not called to serve with human design, and that's totally okay. But if you're called to make a difference in the world, if you're called to serve, the world needs you to step up to that call and to really heed that call, because we're at a crucial time on this planet and we need every single person possible to be in their right place, in their right space, preparing the way for us to build a world of equitability, justice, sustainability, abundance, and peace. So I leave you with that. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be with you. I look forward to seeing you all on in the calls, on the classes, in forum, in our live trainings. I'm honored that you chose to spend this hour with us. I hope we got all your questions answered. If you didn't, if something occurs to you, who should they email, Hannah?
So for any QHD related inquiries, QHD@quantumalignmentsystem.com, and for QAS QAS@quantumalignmentsystem.com. And then just a little reminder, the 33% off sale will be ending May 26th, this Friday. So, and yeah, thank you all. It's been amazing to be here live with you, and we will be excited to see you in the very near future.
Yes, and thank you, Hannah, for being here, and Jamie for scrambling behind the scenes, answering questions. Be well, take care, you all. Bye.